Hi everyone, welcome to this multiplayer playthrough of Into the Flames. So I couldn't actually, we've just got a call to uh, Working Fire in 1000 Atlantic Lane. So this is a voiceover. When I was actually recording, I couldn't use any voice recording because it was a little bit noisy in the environment, unfortunately. So I'll be explaining what we're doing um, as we go through. So at the moment I've sent engine 10, engine 4, tower 4, and I'm responding in the battalion car. Oops. It's quite hard steering this vehicle because I'm using a game controller. So we have a high-rise fire with fire showing on 3 floors. I can see the FDC just on the delta side of a building, so I've asked first due engine to connect to that FDC. And the truck should be pulling up in front of the building and getting its bucket in the air. I'm just going to go round the back of the building, do a 360. That's the second due engine just arriving. So I can report that fire shown throughout the entire 3 floors of the building. Okay, so I'm just going to help connect into the FDC, which is the pipe network in the building. And you can see the other firefighters grabbing a hose pack there. And they're connecting in the truck so it can get its tower nozzle through the windows. So I'm just going to make my way up, secure the floors, look for any victims on the floors that are below the fire floor. So I've just made my way up onto the fire floor, and you saw Max has now got a hose pack which is connected to the lower nozzle, and he's hitting the fire now. Yeah, he's not actually spraying water at the other firefighter, he's hitting the fire behind him. But I've asked him to put the fire to the right and in front because I can see a victim. And we get near the victim, just got to be a little bit careful because we do get burnt if we get too close to the fire. And then once it's out we can grab the victim. Now really all you can do with them once you've grabbed them is you take them back downstairs and you just drop them by the fire truck. If you put them down again you can't interact with them, you can't do any medical procedure, so generally we would normally carry them out, maybe throw them on the back of an ambulance if we had someone role playing an ambulance, but otherwise you've just got to take them to a fire truck and they will disappear. So we've got two guys up on the fire floor now with hose packs, and we've got the tower with its bucket in the air, and he's putting water through the windows. So I'm just relaying to the team inside that there's still heavy fire showing on the floors through the windows. I think when I picked my victim up, my forcible entry tool was removed, so I'm just going to go grab that again. We use that. We can't open these windows, so the only way to ventilate is actually to smash the windows. A second victim, so we'll take them down. So the breaking glass you can hear, well that's the guys upstairs, they're already starting to smash out some of the windows to start ventilating the building. That bell you're ringing, that's just telling you one of the firefighters there, air is running low, and I wanted to smash at least one window out. I don't think it's been a good fire unless I get to break at least one window. So there's a visual representation of the air. It's that blue bar on the lower left above the red health bar. So that blue bar shows the air supply we have remaining. All we have to do to recharge it is just go to a fire truck and interact with a fire truck, and it just charges us up back automatically. Okay, that noise you can hear, the truck guy, Mako, he's put the fan down on the ground floor, and that will draw all this steam out. So now we're declaring this fire is pretty much under control. Fire's out, area's been ventilated. Just making a final check that all the fire is extinguished. And then we'll be ordering the crew to overhaul, just pack up, and we'll be looking to get back to station. That's the team. So Frogmorian is on the first due engine, engine 10. Max runs the second due engine. Mako runs the truck. And I sort of just oversee things and get him away. So we'll start returning to base then, ready for the next call. So we're now being called to a scene of a car accident. I've actually dispatched Squad 7, so Mako and Max have gone to Squad 7. I've also dispatched Engine 6, and I'm going to jump to the ambulance at Station 6. Now normally I don't really do the ambulance, but I'll do it because there's not much else to do. So there's Engine 6 ready to deploy. So the accident's that little blue flame you can just see on the freeway. So I don't normally do medical calls with the ambulance because the medical side of this game is really quite sketchy. It's quite bare bones. It's really I'd only use the ambulance for role playing. So we're just coming up on the scene of the car accident now. Single vehicle. And Squad 7 is already on the scene. Looks like they're already starting extrication. And you just see Engine 6 is just pulling up behind me, blocking off the road, so it's good placement there to protect the crew. I'll grab a medical bag and we'll get across and we'll go through one patient. This ambulance can only carry one patient at a time, so the others are on their own. So they're just cutting the doors off at the moment. So that door's already been cut off. So I'll assess this patient. So you click assess patient, you get the vitals, that all looks fine. And then what we would normally do is we click each bit. I apply a neck collar just as a precaution. And if we can see arms, legs, a few of them are actively bleeding, what we would do is you apply the bandage. If that doesn't change the bleeding status, you then apply the tourniquet. And then you say it says treated. So I go through the arms and legs of a casualty. It looks like they're bleeding like a sieve, but we'll try and sort them out. If the leg's deformed, you'd apply the splint. And we'll just run through the rest of their limbs. Okay, now what we do is we click transport, force transport. What will happen is this patient will then appear on the stretcher because it's been deployed on the ambulance. If there wasn't a stretcher nearby, what would happen is the patient would just disappear. It'll assume an ambulance has come and picked them up. So you see the patient has disappeared. If I go to the back of the ambulance, we'll see her laying on the stretcher. You can see all the tourniquets and splints on her. I'll load her back in, and what we'll do is just go to the other patients and just do instant extricate just to help them disappear. another one. Great. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to run this casualty to the hospital. The AI traffic's not the smartest, as you can see how they just build up. So we'll just arrive at the hospital. So deploy the stretcher. And then to check the patient in, just closed it again, but to check the patient in, you just go in here, there's a nurse sitting at a desk, and you just press the action key, which is E, to check in patient. And there's no real acknowledgement that patient's being checked in. So I haven't done this for a while, so I wasn't sure if it had worked or not. So I was thinking perhaps I need to back the ambulance into the bay. Perfect 3-point turn parking. So once I was in the bay, I go to the back of the ambulance, but as you'll see, the stretcher was actually empty. So as it turns out, the patient had already been deployed. So they were already checked in. Okay, and then we get on, leave the ambulance, I'll get on with our next call. Okay, so we've been called to a residential automated alarm fire. We're running out from station 2 this time. I'm riding as passenger in engine 2. I have ladder 2 and I have tanker 2 following. So the reason I'm on the map is I'm identifying the hydrant for the driver. So because I know there's a tanker coming up behind me, we're going to go for the closest hydrant, because even if it's not a great water supply, we're going to be able to use the tanker to either boost or supply water. So as it turns out, it's a blue hydrant, so it's not going to be a problem. I'll just get him to hook up. He's already hooked onto it, and he's driving on to the actual scene of the fire. At the moment, no smoke, no flame showing. I play this game a lot, so I actually know where the fire would be, which is on these two properties here. The guys, in fairness, were driving past looking for any sign of a smoke or fire, so that's why they've overshot a little bit. At the moment, it's very much looking like a false alarm, but what we'll do is we'll grab a forcible entry tool. I'll go into one building, I'll send Mako into the other building. You can just hear the alarm beeping, so we're going to see if we can find the alarm. Okay, so this building's clear. I've told Mako if his building's clear just to reset the alarm. So it was a false alarm, but with automated fire alarms it could be a working fire, so generally we will do a normal turnout as if it was a working fire. So I'm going to let these guys head back, park their rigs at station 2. I'm going to jump back to station 4 and we're going to wait for the next call. So we've been called to a working fire on Ocean Boulevard, which is the motel. I will be deploying engine 10, engine 4 and tower 4, so again a full turnout. So we're reporting heavy fire showing from the roof of a structure. So we got the first due engine and second due already hitching up their lines to the hydrant. I'm just going to park my car out the way, also enabling me to do 360 of the building. So we have 2 buildings, one building fully involved, the other, all the rooms are on fire. I've asked the tower to get his stick up in the air. I want the bucket starting to extinguish that roof fire. Just check this bin. Yep, that's on fire as well. And I've asked the first due engine, engine 10, to break out 3 attack lines. He's told me he can run 3 attack lines, so I'll be grabbing a line. And again, what I do, I'm just going to grab a large discharge. I'm going to just help hook into the tower ladder. So he's now got water onto that roof fire. So I've asked Frogmorian and Max to take care of the building that was to my left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Mako to ventilate the roof. So I'm just grabbing a tool so I can ventilate the roof. Yeah, I did ask Max to do the other building, so I've just sent him back where I wanted him to go. You can hear the rotary saw, that's telling me that the ladder is now ventilating this roof. You can see there's a little bit of glitch here. We should be able to break that window. It looks like it's there, but it's actually gone. Again, we're going to move into this building. The roof's been ventilated, so we do want to get water on the fire now. Obviously, in the real world, if there's a fire below us, we would normally work the lower fire. We generally don't want to work above fire, but in this game there's absolutely no danger of this floor collapsing and you falling through. So we can do the top floor first if we want to. Okay, once Mako's finished with roof operations, I have asked him to get a fourth attack line and start making his way along the first floor of this structure. You see the guys have got a good knock on that fire over to the right there. You see the doors look a little glitchy. They appear to be closed, but they're actually open. So I'll see if I can break the window. There goes Mako up onto the first floor. Yeah, a lot of these windows here weren't letting me break them. Okay, so that's my air supply. I was tempted, but no. I'm going to go to the truck and recharge my air. All you have to do is literally just interact with the tools menu and you'll see the air just straight away recharges, and I can get back straight to that fire. If you can hear a tiny bit of background noise, I apologise, but my wife's home from work and she insists it's time to make dinner, which I'm not going to argue with because I don't want to go hungry tonight. But sorry if you can hear a little bit of noise in my background. Okay, so that's Max helping me out now because the fire on the other building is completely extinguished, so they've come across to assist. We're down to our last room now. So looks like all the fires are out. Just finish off with ventilation and then we'll start packing up, ready for the next call. Okay, so it looks like I've got a little bit lost there, but made it back to the station now, and we'll just pull in and wait for our next call. So we've been called to the burger bar, which is really convenient. Yeah, completely missed the pole there. I'm not even going to bother driving across it because it's literally the best place you could have a fire is next to a fire station. So I've got a truck to pull up in front of a building. He'll start getting himself ready to go. Okay, the engine is actually knows where there's a blue hydrant, so they're going to go and connect to a blue hydrant to get a better water supply. Let's have a quick look round the back of the building, just confirm fires throughout the entire structure and on the roof. So we're going to actually connect the tower directly into the hydrant. This one has got a pump panel, so it does have a small tank of fuel. So I'm just going to grab the intake line and get it hooked up. The yellow hydrant should give it enough water to be able to run its tower nozzle. I'll borrow a hydrant from the truck. I can actually run another attack line. I believe this actually gave me enough water. Yeah, so I can run, as well as the deluge, I can actually run another attack line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a rotary saw and a hook. I'm going to go up and help the ladder truck with roof operations while he's putting the fire out. So I've told him I'm actually climbing the ladder, so I've asked him to keep the ladder still, because it can sometimes move and I don't move with it. So I force a hook, and then I want to get back in my bucket. I don't know if he just got fed up with my command style, which has left me up here. And again, I've got the first due engine working on the right hand building, so he's ready attacking the ground floor. I'm going to grab my forcible entry tool. I'm going to go round onto the first floor of this building first. Now the roof's been ventilated. Now I could just open these windows to ventilate, but where's the fun in that? There's no broken glass falling on the fire scene, so yeah, I'm just going to smash them. The truck's just ventilated the second roof, so I'm going to go in and do the second floor. Just do a quick check of a bedroom. It looks like the fire's pretty much extinguished in this building. Just check the bathroom. Okay, so yeah, Mako's just going to ventilate the building, and we'll start start packing up. So that was our last call of this session, so I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and obviously any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and look forward to seeing you the next time. I'll help these chaps pack up before I walk back to the station. Okay, so he's all packed up, ready to go. Except he's leaving his equipment behind. These fans cost money. So, yeah, just hold on, mate. Let's just get that stuck back on your truck before you go back. Alright, I'm back at the station. I'll walk. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this session. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all soon again. Bye now.